All right, all right. We have today a very special guest, a client. We have Evelyn, who I call Evie, Essentials by Evy LLC. Good morning. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm doing very well. Thank you so much for having me today.
Thank you for coming on. You had a little bit of a drive down from Union County.
Yes, but I love that drive here. It's
well,
always a relaxing, peaceful drive.
Relaxing, peaceful. I saw your
Yes.
I saw your reels before. You're jamming out to.
I was getting hyped, okay? I was trying to bring the vibes.
That's what you're calling that.
Yes.
You're bringing. She was bringing the vibes this morning. Wow, that's what we're gonna go with. So
You gotta be a hype man, right?
So I've known you for a few years now, and you have a business that keeps on getting better and bigger
Yes,
and
I
doing
do.
more.
Thank you. Yes, I do.
When I first met you, you didn't even have a website.
I know. And
That
thanks
was
to
fixed.
you, now I have one.
That was fixed. That was fixed early on in the game. But now you're doing a lot more than what you started out doing. So how did Essentials by Evy all start?
Well, I'm glad you asked. Essentials by Evie started off as a hobby, really. I started off making soaps, and I really did just make soaps and bath bombs out of a little room in my house just for fun.
But you're smiling while you say it. It's like you really enjoyed it.
I loved it. It used to give me, it was so therapeutic. I would just sit there and make my things and find ideas. And one Christmas, my husband said to me, Evie, listen, you're making everything except candles. Here's a kit. Try out a candle making kit. And it's funny because it sat in my house for 4 months, and he was like, you're not going to make the candles?
So in April, you finally
So
decided
I finally decided to make it, and I put it on the market, and it was just, wow. The feedback I got from making candles was phenomenal.
Okay.
And then I continued to do them, and I just started exploring different things. During that time, I traveled to Brazil, and I took an international class over there.
On candle making?
On candle making, soap making, body creams, everything. I took a class out there, and I came back so inspired that I was like, all right, I got to put everything I learned into action, all the techniques I learned, and I started to evolve. And about a year and a half ago, my business just took off in the direction that I think only God could put this in your heart, because I went from making candles to hosting my own events.
So that was a big change.
Wow, was that a big
So
change?
you going from working in your house by yourself, making candles, selling them, to at a little events, right?
Yeah.
Now you're hosting an event.
Yeah, it was a huge game changer for me, because
And what was the first event you hosted?
with the Township of Union.
Okay.
I'm lying to you. Actually, it wasn't with the Township of Union.
She's lying to us.
I'm sorry. I did an event at a recovery center
Okay.
in Springfield, New Jersey.
Okay.
It was for people who suffered from substance abuse.
Mhm.
And it was very moving, because I learned that day that there's so many people out there who could use this as a form of art therapy.
Okay.
And I saw how impactful it was.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, I started networking, and that's when I met you and Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
And I started meeting more people and getting more involved with networking events. And I got an opportunity with the town that I live in to do candle classes for people with special needs.
That was in Union County?
That
so
was
the
in
second
Union
event
yeah.
was in Union County. Just to clarify for
Yes.
anybody that's following along with the play-by-play.
Yes. So it was the Social Recovery Center for substance abuse. Then I moved on into the Township of Union. I was doing classes. I still do classes at the Recovery Center. And from there...
How did they like it?
They loved it. It was such a beautiful experience, right? Because I didn't know what to expect. It was just a different group, and I never had done something like that before. But I went prepared. I always go more prepared for what more. Always go more prepared.
And you were 15 minutes early, so you're really always prepared.
Always.
You're one of these people that arrive early.
I like to be sharp. And that day was filled with so many blessings, because I had went to a retreat 1 month before, a women's retreat in Connecticut, and I met this beautiful soul. Her name was Sandra, who came all the way from New York City to help me, right?
Wow.
It was just me and her. And when that room filled, every seat in that room filled, I was not prepared for that. I didn't expect for my first event with the town for it to be filled that much.
Yeah.
But would you believe that there were 2 policemen on site that came in to be curious, and the policemen in Union came to help me? I had 2 policemen handing out wax, helping me with the event, and they were my help that day. And it fell from the sky. It was God sent for me. And from there, I just kept getting
That's pretty
hired.
funny.
It was a beautiful experience. It was such a beautiful experience.
That's awesome though that you had that you had them there, that they were able to help, that they got involved, and
It definitely showed me community. Like if there was anything to show you community, I experienced it at that moment.
yeah,
And it was very moving.
that's fantastic.
Yeah, it was a beautiful experience.
So now you're still doing events there.
I'm still doing events there, and I'm still doing private events. So now people hire me to come to their homes.
Tell us about that.
Oh,
That's
really
new.
fun. That is new, and that is that has been a lot of fun too.
Okay.
Because I have different groups of people, right? Like, and do different things. I do many different styles. So like when people hire me, I tell them, is there a theme?
Yep.
Like, do you have a theme that you're doing? Do you have anything in mind? So I go to people's houses, and they'll have their girlfriends and their families together, and we'll do a candle. And then in the summer, I figured with the summertime, I got hired, and I said, do you guys want to make a margarita candle? So people started making margaritas, but I created it to a way where you literally salted the rim with wax. So we were putting glue and putting crushed soy wax and giving it that salt look. Then people were coming together and figuring out the scents they want, because I offer a variety of scents. You don't just get like 5 options with me. I come with about 20 different options, and I teach you how to spell them. So people came and they designed them. I had the little ice cubes made out of wax.
Oh, cool.
So like it literally looked like a cocktail margarita. It was phenomenal.
And that's really fun.
Yeah.
Did you let them drink margaritas too?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So that's something about me. I always go the extra mile. When you hire me, I will always try to exceed your expectations. As
That's
a thank
great.
you,
In
I
a
always
world-
come with something. I always come with a little something. So I'll come with like a little bottle or a little appetizer.
What'd you
come with
bring
a little
today?
something.
What'd you bring for me and Andrew?
I brought my energy.
Oh, that's what, Andrew. We got the energy. We didn't get the margaritas. I don't know. It's a Friday in Belmar. We should have had a margarita.
We
today.
should have. I didn't think that through. I'm so sorry.
You always try to come prepared with one little extra thing, except for us. We didn't get the charcuterie board. We didn't get the margaritas. I can't wait till the next thing she talks about that we didn't get.
Damn, I feel the shade.
I didn't even get a bath bomb either. We talked about those already.
I can't picture you with a bath bomb.
Nah. No, but I bring it home. I look like an all-star tonight. But thanks.
You're welcome. It's okay.
Yeah. She brought the charcuterie board, the margarita, and the bath bomb. I look like the best husband of the year. In the meantime, I have none of it, and hopefully my wife isn't listening to say, oh, I would have liked all 3 of those things, but thank you. All right, so you're doing great work. So now you're in the process of expanding even further now to do these big events.
Yes.
So kind of talk about like what you got going on for your Friendsgiving, for your Grinch, because I think that's pretty cool what you got going on.
Yeah. So this has been a new journey for me.
You keep expanding.
I do, because I feel like you have to keep things fresh. You have to always, when you reach one goal, you have to already start thinking, what's my next goal?
You ready?
And
you want to know what I call that?
What is
Moving the end zone.
Moving the end zone.
So like, football has the end zone.
Yeah.
So it's like you got to keep moving the end zone. Like when you hit your first goal, well, you got in the end zone, right? So
Yeah.
you keep moving the end zone. So
Yeah.
the end zone keeps changing as you keep reaching and reaching your goals.
And that's what I'm trying to do. I want to make an impact on my community. I'm not money driven.
So when you say you want to make an impact on your community, let's kind of break that down. What do you in your world? What does that mean? What does that do? How do you do it? How do you accomplish it? What's the outcome? And then how do you move forward from there?
So I think that's a great question. And to answer that question, when I say that I want to make an impact on my community, it means that when people remember me and my business, I want them to remember that they are always in a safe space. That when they're with me, they can explore their creativity, come together with the people they love, and just relax.
Yep.
Because making candles is such a relaxing hobby, art, craft, whatever you want to call it, whatever it is for you. So when I create these events and when I host these events and I put them together, it's a beautiful atmosphere. And it's a place where so many different people come together to just make a candle. And you will meet so many amazing people.
You have such a smile on your face when you say it too.
You have
like
to.
you really enjoy what you do.
I do. I really
That's
love
great
what I do.
though. Like I think they always say if you enjoy what you do, you never work a day in your life.
And I agree. 100%.
It is true.
Yeah.
It
yeah.
really is good. It's like I love the fact of how much you like this. This is great.
I love it. And I love just working with so many different people and like the best part is when you leave such a great impact and they want to hire you again.
Yeah.
So
And you have a lot of repeats,
I
right?
do. And that is where I'm like, I'm doing something right in this world. In a time when people are just going through so much, because you never know what people are going through. In a time where everything is just overpriced, I try to keep things within an affordable price. I try to keep things fun and just give people a different experience, because things get boring.
That's great.
I always create a different experience. Like I have people that have done 3 or 4 candles, and they've had 3 or 4 different experiences with me.
Well, they had the margarita candle.
Yeah.
Now, what do you do in the fall?
So in the fall, I'm doing a Friendsgiving event that is taking place November 17th. So if you haven't booked your ticket, what are you waiting for? That event is
Now,
going
how do they get? So
Okay.
You say that, but then you don't tell them how to book a ticket.
I know. What am I thinking? So my event is on Eventbrite. You guys can go on Eventbrite. You could also check out my social media handles. The link is attached to my page. Or you could contact me through my website. I have a contact me section. You can also direct message me on Instagram. So there's many forms to contact me if you're interested in coming. I'm always available to talk. I always make myself available for my clients. And yeah, so the Friendsgiving event, what you're going to walk into is that you're going to be able to make a 16-ounce candle. And you're going to do it from start to finish.
Okay.
When you come, there's going to be a beautiful setup with all the materials, with fragrances, some coffee, because I also create a sensory experience. I teach you how to smell, and you make your own candle. I'll pass around the wax. I'll have a little charcuterie cup so you can have something to snack on. Nibble on, nothing crazy, just something to nibble on. I'll have soda and water, some refreshments.
If people want to bring wine, can they?
Actually, there's gonna be a cash bar on site.
Oh, cool.
So if they wanted to purchase an
glass of
alcoholic
wine,
beverage, they can do that. So
that's nice.
And it's a family-friendly environment. I have children, adults, senior citizens, people with special needs, a little bit of everything.
That's awesome.
Yes.
That's so cool. So that will be a great event for you.
Yes.
Is this the first time you're doing a big November Friendsgiving event?
My November Friendsgiving is my first time. Hopefully not my last, but we'll see how that goes.
Perfect. Now, what about what's going on around the holiday time?
Oh my gosh.
Around the December holidays.
December? It's going to be my second year doing it. I'm going to be doing the Grinch candle making experience.
Grinch candle making experience.
Yeah.
You heard it first here. So, Evie, what does that include?
The Grinch. He's going to make a presentation. And you get to make your Grinch candle. It's a vessel with the Grinch face. Last year, it didn't come out green, but this year I'm going to make sure that everyone gets to make their green candle. With a
what do you mean it didn't come out green?
Sometimes things go wrong. And I had a mishap with the color last year.
A mishap with the color
I
last
did,
year.
but it's okay because it's not going to happen to me again this year.
All right.
But you know what? I'm transparent.
Did everybody have fun, though?
Oh, my God. It was so much fun. So much fun.
And
that was a sellout.
How many people are you expecting at your Grinch event?
Last year, I had 120. I'm
So
trying to
this year,
multiply that.
150 this year?
I would like 150. I would
That's
definitely
great.
like 150.
That's nice growth.
It is.
And what is so you make a candle, they come to, where is it?
It's going to be in Union Township, 1034 Jeanette Avenue at the Knights of Columbus in Union.
Great. So people will come in.
Yep.
Again, you'll serve a little bit of food. You'll have some beverages, and then they'll come in family friendly again. 150 people.
Yes.
And you're going to lead the presentation.
I'm going to lead the presentation. I'll have a DJ. I'll have vendors. I have some really cute vendors lined up. They are so sweet. I have someone that does press-on T-shirts.
Oh, cool.
So, like, she has this business where she sells, like, unique press-on designs, but she's going to have her machine on site. So you can, like, pick out your shirt and pick out your design, and she'll press it on for you. I have another young lady who, she does crochet. She does crochet blankets, the little cup holders, she does so many beautiful things with crochet. I have another young woman who she's into holistic healing, and she's the mother of ancestral medicines. And so she's going to have different things along that line of work. Cacao. She's going to talk about her services with cacao ceremonies. She's going to have like herbal baths for like an energy cleansing. If you're into that, a variety of things. And that's what I have lined up for now. Fantastic. But if more vendors want to come on, I'm on board for that.
That is cool.
Yeah.
You always got something going on.
Yeah, I like to share the opportunities. Like, I feel like if I could give somebody the opportunity to connect with people that I'm working with, then give them a little bit of exposure. Why not? Like, if you're in a position to help another person, why not do it?
I couldn't agree with you more. And I think that, people see it and they get inspired by you too, because they see what you do and they see that it started out as a hobby and you were making one little thing in the house to now hosting your own events.
Yeah.
And again, to get 120 people in a room,
It's
a big deal.
It is.
Again, I'm involved with some networking, and it's hard to get 150 people in a room. I mean, even when we did the grand opening in Manasquan, in this building, I think we had about 90 people.
Oh, wow.
And 90 people in this space is a lot, but getting 90 people to commit and say yes to coming to a free event is a big deal. So, you're charging them. They have to have an interest in what you're doing. So, I mean, I think you're doing a great job.
I'm trying. I'm really trying here. It's not easy, but...
It's not easy, but, you never give up, right?
You can't. You can't give up. Even on days when, I have moments when I feel a little defeated, but I don't stay in that funk. I push through. I persevere. I remind myself who I am, and I keep going.
Failure's not an option.
It's not. You got to make it happen.
Why don't more people have your mindset?
I feel like a lot of people are just afraid. And I always say, do it afraid. The
Do it
one
afraid.
thing you're scared of, just do it.
So, I mean, now that you're 15 minutes on the podcast, you're not nervous anymore, are you?
No, I'm not, but I was when I walked in.
When you first walked in, you were a little nervous. But as time has gone on, it's not that bad, right?
It's not that bad, and I feel like you have definitely helped me with that, because I always feel comfortable talking with you.
Perfect.
Every time we talk, I always felt such a great warm connection with you, and I'm very grateful for the relationship that we've built. Like, it's amazing. So thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you. I think you're doing great things, and I think when you said you wanted to get on the podcast after we did your website, I thought it was a great idea. I mean, you've just moved the ball forward. You keep doing new things. You keep adding more to your portfolio of what you offer, and I think it's great. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, and something new that I tried actually yesterday for a private event. It was the first time, and I was testing the waters, and I think that I'm going to be marketing this a little bit more.
What's
Can paint your own candle. You
Really?
can paint your own candle with wax. So for Halloween, I'm going to be blasting it this month. I have skulls that are made out of wax, and it's a 3D skull. And what I do is I put little waxes with different colors and a paintbrush.
Yeah.
And when it melts, you paint it with the wax.
Okay.
And it was just such a
And how did it come out?
It came out so nice that you can totally check out my page.
Yep. You're an artist.
They came out really nice. It's something that I would say because it's flammable. You're gonna have a little bit. You have to be careful. It's for adults only. But if children wanted to do it, I did do my research to do something with children. They could paint the candle with acrylic paint.
Okay.
So maybe if I did something with children to make it more family friendly, they can just paint the candle with acrylic wax. But if it's just adults and they want to have that adult vibe to it, we can do the little waxes on color. It was a really good experience.
Cool.
Yeah, it was different.
I love how you just keep reinventing yourself.
You have to. You have to keep things fun.
And you have to keep things fresh. So, again, you should now start building a calendar so that each month you know what you're going to do with what group. Like, again, the summer with the margaritas is fun. Then you have the fall with the pumpkins and the skulls. And then you have the Thanksgiving. Like, so that each month you have something going on. So next year, you just have a full calendar. And people could just sign up for your stuff. And then you do your privates on top of that.
Yeah. And that's actually a really good idea. Like, this event with the skull, that was a trial run, and I liked the way that it went. And I'm definitely going to be doing a lot more of those things. And I'm definitely going to keep a calendar for next year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Again, I'm just giving you,
Yeah.
food for thought. Put it on the website so that people can then just see what you're doing and then reach out to you. And, because I think when you really think about it, you said it earlier, people are looking for fun things to do that are safe, that are cost effective in a world where customer service is at its all-time low.
Yes.
You're trying to say, I want to give great experiences. I want to go one step above, which I think no one's thinking about. So I love that you're thinking about that.
Yeah, I agree with that. And that's a really good idea. We will definitely be talking after this.
Perfect. But I think that, I just think that the more that you can offer, and then, there's probably some PTAs and some Girl Scouts and some town places that would love to kind of get involved with you because it gives them a place. A lot of times, even with camps in the summer, they have a budget to do certain activities for the children. Again, if you can bring them this activity that's safe. It's in a good environment, and they learn something new. I mean, I think people are always looking for that.
Yeah, and it's interesting that you mentioned the summer and spring and the summer camps, because in the summertime, I feel like in the summertime for children, they can make soaps. Because I offer the service of making soaps as well. At the same experience, I'll teach you how to smell, but instead of making a candle, you make a soap, and you can make it out of any design you like. I have many different molds, and you can use them after. So kids want to make dinosaur soaps, or little princess, or a heart. Little kids could get together and make some soaps.
Do something different.
And use it after. Like, look, mommy, what I did. Something like that.
Here's one that if I was 35 years younger and I was a little kid, do one around April, May for Mother's Day. I would have loved to make my mom a soap to bring to Mother and give her for Mother's Day.
That is super cute. I did do that with the township.
Oh, good.
We did candles and soaps, but I think I may explore something independently this upcoming year, because the soaps,
how fun would that be?
The soaps were a hit.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it was such a hit. Yeah.
And I'm sure you have different molds that they could make.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, that's really cool.
You don't even want to see my basement. It's got like way
you're gonna need a storefront soon.
I do.
You're gonna need a place to showcase all your work, and people could come in. Imagine you had like arts and crafts tables, like in a space that people could then. We have a client in Red Bank that does birthday parties. She has a chocolate shop. Shout out to Chocolate Works in Red Bank. Randy has a front of her store is a chocolate shop, and then in the back she has tables so the kids can have a birthday party there.
It's interesting you say that, because you see, when I think about my long-term goals, I don't think about just having a candle shop. That's not my goal.
Yeah.
I want to have a space.
Yeah.
Even if I lease it and one day own it, I want to have an event space of my own.
Start with leasing. It's easier.
Yes.
And you know what? Again, when you think about your goals, I think you have to look at them. You can't take on huge real estate before you got to walk before you run. So
you're right.
Just get in. Once you get in, then you could test out your stuff and see where you want to make changes and where you make modifications.
Yeah.
A place like this would be perfect. Our Belmar location would be perfect for something like you have. You're not getting this. Don't get me wrong. This isn't like,
really?
Let's make a trade
I thought
today.
We could negotiate something.
This isn't let's make a deal today. But a place like this where you have open space, you could sell some product, and then you also can do some classes and stuff like that, and have your inventory.
Yeah, have some intimate groups. That is definitely on my long-term goals list.
Good.
I don't know when I'm going to get there, but I hope it's sooner than later.
Listen, a day at a time, just keep growing. And every day it sounds like you want to do something better.
Yes, I'm trying. I really am.
You are an inspiration. I hope that you continue your success. I hope you continue your growth. I hope that you continue to, make people happy. I mean, it seems like that's like you're on your agenda.
Yes. When you feel good, you do good.
As we wrap up today, it was a pleasure having you on.
Thank you.
Let people know where they can find you online, on your socials. I know earlier you said it, but give it to them one more time of how they can find you online.
Yes. So you guys can find me on Instagram at Essentials by Evy. You can also find my website at www.essentialsbyevy.com. And I think that's pretty much it. I'm on TikTok and Facebook, Essentials by Evy.
Awesome. Thank you for coming in today. This was great. And I look forward to continued success for you.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.